Welcome back to the Cash Kicks channel for expert sports analysis, the best team picks, total picks, and in-depth breakdowns based on previous performances. Stay ahead of the game with our winning insights. And for even more exclusive parlay picks, check out Channel in membership. Denver Nuggets versus New York Knicks. Madison Square Garden sets the stage for a heavyweight clash. Denver arrives at 33-18, 19-8 on the road, second in the Northwest, and chasing Oklahoma City in the Western Conference race. New York stands 32-18, 20-6 at home, riding a 7-game winning streak and sitting second in the Atlantic Division, firmly planted near the top of the East. The numbers suggest a razor-thin margin, a slight edge toward New York at home, and the stakes stretch beyond one February night. This is a measuring stick game between two contenders with postseason ambitions and contrasting identities. Denver averages 119.9 points per game on 50% shooting, one of the league's most efficient offensive machines. The Nuggets pair that with 28.0 assists per night, orchestrating through Nikola Jokic's 29.3 points, 12.0 rebounds, and 10.7 assists, while shooting 60.9% from the field and 44% from three. Jamal Murray adds 25.5 points and 7.5 assists, giving Denver a dual-engine attack built on precision and spacing. They convert 44% from three as a team and 84.6% at the line from their star center, a closing weapon in tight games. Defensively, Denver allows 115.9 points, collects 6.9 steals and 4.1 blocks per game, and leans on Peyton Watson's 1.1 blocks and Jokic's rebounding control to anchor possessions. They keep turnovers to 11.9 per game. Discipline defines their style. New York counters with 117.6 points per game on 47% shooting. The Knicks rebound at a higher clip, 46.4 per night, and create extra possessions with 8.2 steals and 4.2 blocks. Jalen Brunson leads with 27.2 points and 6.1 assists, shooting 47.2% overall and 38.3% from deep, while converting 85.3% at the stripe. Karl Anthony Towns adds 19.8 points and 11.8 rebounds, stretching the floor at 35.9% from three and 85.5% from the line. OG Anunoby supplies two-way stability with 16.4 points and 1.8 steals, while Mitchell Robinson's 1.1 blocks protect the rim. The Knicks move the ball for 26.8 assists per game and thrive in transition when their defense fuels pace. They do commit 13.1 turnovers per contest, a pressure point Denver will target. This is surgical efficiency versus physical depth. Denver's half-court mastery meets New York's rebounding muscle and perimeter activity. That tension defines the night. Denver's last five tell a mixed story. Losses to Detroit and Oklahoma City, but wins over the Clippers and Nets. The offense remains potent. 122 against Los Angeles, 121 even in defeat, yet defensive consistency has wavered, surrendering 121 or more in 2 of the last 3 losses. They are dangerous, but searching for sharper stops. New York enters surging, 5 straight wins, 132 on Washington, 127 on Portland, 119 on Toronto, 112 over the Lakers, and a dominant 103-87 against Sacramento. The defense has tightened, holding 3 of those opponents under 100 before garbage time, and the offense has crossed 119 3 times in that span. Momentum lives in Manhattan. Jokic is orchestral. He scores 29.3 per night with elite efficiency, rebounds everything in reach, and averages nearly 11 assists as the hub of Denver's motion offense. He dictates tempo, punishes double teams, and closes games at the free throw line with calm inevitability. Brunson embodies rhythm and control, dictating tempo with patience and precision every time he steps onto the floor. Averaging 27 points and more than 6 assists per game, He pairs scoring punch with poised decision-making, leaning on a polished mid-range arsenal that quietly dismantles defenses one possession at a time. Rather than rushing, he probes, pivots, and waits for the exact angle he wants, forcing opponents to commit before he strikes. When help defenders collapse, he calmly finds his counters. He's supported by Towns' interior scoring gravity and Anunoby's floor spacing, reliable outlets that punish double teams and stretch rotations thin. In tight quarters, Brunson's footwork and balance shine, especially at home, where the Knicks' 20-6 record reflects their late-game confidence and composure under pressure. Tactically, Denver will attack the Knicks' turnover rate and test their pick-and-roll coverage. Expect Murray-Jokic actions to force switches, drawing Robinson into space and probing Towns' lateral defense. The Nuggets' 50% field goal rate suggests they'll generate quality looks if ball movement stays crisp. New York's path runs through rebounding dominance and defensive pressure. Their +4 advantage on the glass per game could tilt extra possessions their way. If Anunoby and Bridges disrupt passing lanes and Brunson controls tempo, the Knicks can force Denver into a more physical, less fluid contest. Watch the three-point line. Denver's 44% team accuracy is a lethal counter to New York's aggressive help schemes. Conversely, Towns and Brunson must stretch the floor early to open driving lanes. Bench contributions and late-game composure loom large. Both teams shoot over 80% at the line from their stars, so execution in the final 2 minutes could decide it. The X factors: Towns' rebounding versus Jokic's positioning, and whether New York's defensive activity can convert into transition scoring without fueling Denver's spacing attack. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is New York Knicks winner. New York's home dominance and current momentum give them the slightest edge. Their rebounding depth and defensive pressure should create just enough extra possessions to offset Denver's efficiency. Expect a tightly contested fourth quarter, but Brunson's control and the Garden's energy tilt the balance. My second pick for this match is total over 223.5. Boston Celtics versus Houston Rockets. Tomorrow night in Houston, two contenders separated by conference but connected by ambition collide. The Boston Celtics arrive at 31-18, second in the Atlantic Division and climbing in the Eastern Conference race. The Houston Rockets stand at 31-17, second in the Southwest and firmly planted near the top of the Western hierarchy. This is more than a February matchup. It's a measuring stick game. Boston's balance against Houston's firepower. A team fighting to solidify playoff positioning versus one defending home dominance. The numbers slightly lean Houston's way, and on their floor, that edge carries weight. Boston enters averaging 116.1 points per game, while allowing just 109.1, one of the sharper defensive profiles among contenders. Houston matches them shot for shot offensively at 116.0 per game, surrendering 110.0. The margins are razor thin. Execution won't be. The Celtics are powered by Jaylen Brown's 29.4 points per night on 48.5% shooting and 77.6% from the line. He adds 6.9 rebounds and 4.8 assists, operating with downhill force and mid-range precision. Derek White contributes 17.2 points, 5.4 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.4 blocks. A two-way guard who stabilizes tempo and closes games. Boston shoots 47% from the field as a team, hits efficiently from three across the rotation, and moves the ball for 23.9 assists per contest. They pull down 45.0 rebounds, protect the rim with 5.2 blocks, and force 7.8 steals per game. Houston counters with Kevin Durant's 26.2 points per game on a blistering 51.0% from the field, 40.5% from three, and 88.6% at the line. Efficiency meets inevitability. Alperen Sengun anchors the interior with 21.4 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 6.3 assists, functioning as both scorer and facilitator. The Rockets also shoot 47% overall, control the glass at 49.4 rebounds per game, and dish 25.0 assists. Defensively, they generate 8.7 steals and 5.8 blocks, showing more disruptive activity on the perimeter. Boston's defense is built on structure, disciplined rotations, switchable wings, and White's point-of-attack control. Houston leans into length and physicality, with Sengun's rebounding and Durant's rim contests complementing aggressive perimeter hands. The defining theme is clear: Boston's defensive discipline versus Houston's rebounding strength and shot-making efficiency. Structure against size and spacing. Recent form sharpens the contrast. Boston has won 4 of its last 5, including victories over Milwaukee, Sacramento, Atlanta, and Portland, with 3 of those wins coming by double digits. The offense has flowed, 117 or more in 3 of those wins, while the lone loss came in Chicago, where defensive lapses proved costly. They're playing connected basketball. Houston has also won 4 of 5, beating Indiana, Dallas, Atlanta, and Memphis. Their lone stumble came in a high-scoring loss to San Antonio. They've topped 108 in every win during this stretch, and their 118-point outburst against Indiana showcased offensive rhythm at home. The Rockets look comfortable, particularly inside Toyota Center. The centerpiece is Brown versus Durant. Brown attacks with power and tempo, thriving in transition and mid-post isolation. Durant operates with surgical efficiency, fewer wasted dribbles, more clean looks. Brown's volume and physicality test defenders. Durant's 51% shooting and 40% from deep punish over help. Inside, Alperen Sengun anchors the action with his 9.4 rebounds per game and a uniquely creative playmaking skill set that stresses even disciplined defenses. His blend of footwork, soft touch, and court vision forces opponents to make uncomfortable choices on every trip down the floor. Waiting on the other side is a Boston interior rotation featuring Neemias Queta, who averages 8.1 rebounds in limited minutes and brings size and physicality to the paint. If Sengun begins to command double teams on the block, Houston's perimeter spacing suddenly becomes lethal, opening clean looks for shooters and driving lanes for cutters. But if Boston elects to stay home and guard straight up, Sengun is comfortable working methodically one-on-one, using patience, balance, and touch to carve out high-percentage shots while controlling the tempo of the game. Tactically, watch the glass first. Houston's plus 4.4 rebounding advantage per game could generate second-chance points and slow Boston's transition game. The Celtics must keep turnovers under control. They average 11.3 per game, because Houston thrives when steals, 8.7 per game, ignite early offense. Spacing will matter. Houston's 40.5% three-point shooting from Durant and efficient perimeter threats create driving lanes. Boston's defensive switching must be precise, especially in late clock situations. Conversely, the Celtics' ability to spread the floor and let Brown attack mismatches will test Houston's perimeter containment. Bench impact and health loom large. Boston navigates injuries, including Jason Tatum sidelined, placing heavier scoring responsibility on Brown and White. Houston's depth, with Amen Thompson contributing 18.1 points and Jabari Smith Jr. adding 15.1, provides secondary scoring waves. Late game, it becomes decision-making. White's composure versus Sengun's facilitation. Durant's isolation efficiency versus Boston's collective defense. The Rockets have been slightly more dynamic at creating extra possessions and converting efficiently. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Houston Rockets winner. The difference comes down to rebounding control and half-court efficiency. Houston's size and shot-making at home tilt the final minutes in their favor. In a tight playoff-caliber battle, the Rockets' balance and interior presence prove just enough. My second pick for this match is total, over 213.5. Oklahoma City Thunder versus San Antonio Spurs. The Western Conference spotlight shifts to San Antonio, where the 39-11 Oklahoma City Thunder, leaders of the Northwest Division and owners of the conference's top record, walk into Frostbank Center to face the 33-16 San Antonio Spurs, who sit atop the Southwest Division. It's not just another February game, it's a measuring stick. Oklahoma City holds a 60.7% edge in projected win probability, but the Spurs have already taken 3 of the 4 meetings this season. That tension, elite record versus head-to-head edge, defines the stakes. For the Thunder, it's about reasserting conference control. For the Spurs, it's about proving their rise is real and sustainable. Oklahoma City brings the league's most explosive offense into the building, averaging 120.3 points per game on 49% shooting. They stretch the floor, knock down 39.1% from 3, and convert 89.3% at the free throw line. Their ball movement is sharp at 25.4 assists per night, and defensively they generate 9.9 steals and 5.9 blocks while holding opponents to 108.0 points. San Antonio counters with balance and physicality. The Spurs average 116.9 points on 47% shooting, hit 35.5% from deep, and shoot 82.7% from the stripe. They rebound at a higher clip, 46.1 per game, and distribute 26.0 assists. Defensively, they allow 111.9 points, collect 7.7 steals, and protect the rim with 4.9 blocks. The offensive engines are clear. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander pours in 32.0 points per game on 55.8% shooting, 39.1% from 3, and an elite 89.3% at the line, adding 6.4 assists and 4.4 rebounds. Chet Holmgren supplies 17.7 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks while shooting 56.6% from the field. Jalen Williams adds 16.8 points and 5.6 assists, giving Oklahoma City layered scoring and playmaking. For San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama leads with 24.1 points, 11.0 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game on 50.4% shooting. He stretches the floor at 35.5% from 3 and anchors the paint defensively. De'Aaron Fox contributes 19.8 points and 6.2 assists, while Stephon Castle averages 16.8 points and a team-high 7.0 assists, pushing tempo and attacking gaps. The defining theme is perimeter precision versus interior presence. Oklahoma City thrives on efficiency and spacing. San Antonio leans on size, rebounding, and half-court structure built around Wembanyama's rim gravity. Recent form sharpens the picture. The Thunder are 2-3 in their last 5, alternating wins and losses. A 121-111 win at Denver, followed by a 123-111 loss at Minnesota. Defensive lapses have crept in, allowing 117, 123, and 117 in 3 of those games. The offense remains potent, but consistency has wavered. The Spurs are also 2-3 in their last 5, but their wins have been convincing. A 126-109 victory at Utah, and a 112-103 win over Orlando. Their losses have come in tighter offensive battles, including a 111-106 defeat at Charlotte. They've scored at least 109 in 4 of the 5, signaling rhythm even in defeat. The star duel commands the stage. Gilgeous-Alexander operates with surgical control, mid-range precision, patient drives, and elite free throw conversion. His 32 points per game come efficiently, and his assist-to-turnover ratio underscores command. Wembanyama is a two-way force, combining 24.1 points and 11 rebounds with near 3 blocks a night. He alters shots without fouling and stretches defenses beyond the arc. It's craft versus length, timing versus wingspan. De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle's backcourt playmaking will place significant pressure on Oklahoma City's perimeter defense, especially with injuries thinning the Thunder's depth and rotational flexibility. Their ability to push tempo, collapse the defense off the dribble, and create clean looks for teammates will challenge OKC's communication and close out discipline. The Thunder are currently without Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell, while Nikola Topic remains sidelined, limiting both their secondary ball-handling options and wing versatility. On the other side, San Antonio is missing Jeremy Sochan and Lindy Waters III, with Castle listed as day-to-day, an uncertainty that could meaningfully shift the backcourt balance. If Castle is fully available, his presence alongside Fox adds another dynamic creator. If not, Oklahoma City may find more room to stabilize defensively despite its own absences. Tactically, Oklahoma City will look to control pace, spread the floor, and force Wembanyama into space defensively. Their 39% three-point shooting is the pressure point. If Holmgren pulls Wembanyama away from the rim, driving lanes open for Gilgeous-Alexander. San Antonio's path runs through rebounding and paint control. They hold a 46.1 to 43.5 edge on the glass. Extra possessions and second-chance points could swing momentum. If Fox pushes in transition and Castle facilitates early offense, the Spurs can disrupt OKC's defensive rotations before they're set. Late game, it becomes execution. Oklahoma City shoots nearly 90% from the line, a quiet but decisive advantage. San Antonio must avoid foul trouble and force contested jumpers instead of free throws. This shapes up as a tight, high-level Western Conference duel. Efficiency versus length, spacing versus size. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Oklahoma City Thunder winner. Oklahoma City's shooting precision and late-game free throw dominance provide the edge. In a game defined by control and composure, the conference leaders execute just a little cleaner when it matters most. My second pick for this match is total over 223.5, Cleveland Cavaliers versus LA Clippers. The stage is set in Inglewood as Cleveland arrives at 30-21, second in the Central Division and chasing positioning in the Eastern Conference, while the Clippers sit at 23-26, fourth in the Pacific, and fighting to steady their footing in the West. Cleveland has already taken the first meeting, a decisive 120-105 win, and enters this matchup with a slight statistical edge. A 56.4% projected advantage that reflects balance, depth, and recent control. For the Cavaliers, this is about reinforcing their place in the East's upper tier. For the Clippers, it's about protecting home court at Intuit Dome and preventing the standings from slipping further in a tightly packed Western race. The stakes are real. Tone setting for Cleveland, stabilizing for Los Angeles. Cleveland averages 119.3 points per game while allowing 116.2. They shoot 47% from the field, move the ball for 28.6 assists a night, and control the glass at 44.7 rebounds. Defensively, they generate 8.9 steals and 5.1 blocks, using activity and length to disrupt rhythm. Donovan Mitchell drives the offense at 28.8 points per game on 48.3% shooting, hitting 38.2% from 3 and 84.2% at the line. Darius Garland adds 18.0 points and 6.9 assists, while Evan Mobley anchors inside with 17.9 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 2.0 blocks on 51.2% efficiency. Cleveland's identity is balanced aggression, perimeter creation supported by interior length and rebounding. The Clippers average 112.7 points and allow 112.9, operating with slightly lower pace but strong half-court execution. They shoot 48% from the field and 39.1% from three, one of the sharper perimeter marks in this matchup. Ball movement produces 23.6 assists, and Ivica Zubac dominates the boards at 11.0 rebounds per game. Kawhi Leonard leads at 27.6 points on 49.7% shooting, 39.1% from three, and 91.3% at the line. Elite efficiency across the board. James Harden contributes 25.4 points and 8.1 assists, stretching defenses with 3.1 made threes per game. Zubac protects the rim with size and physicality, while Leonard supplies 2.1 steals per night on the wing. The defining theme: Cleveland's pace and playmaking versus Los Angeles efficiency and half-court precision. The Cavaliers want flow and volume. The Clippers want control and shot quality. Recent form sharpens that contrast. Cleveland has won 4 of its last 5. Victories over Portland, 130-111. The Lakers, 129-99. Orlando twice, and a lone setback at Phoenix. They're scoring freely, pushing past 123 times in that stretch, and showing depth in the rotation. The Clippers are 3-2 in their last 5. They handled Phoenix and Utah, beat Brooklyn convincingly, but stumbled against Philadelphia and Denver. Offensive bursts are there, but defensive consistency fluctuates, allowing 122 to Denver and 128 to Philadelphia in losses. At the center of it all stands Mitchell versus Leonard, a stylistic clash that defines the rhythm and emotional temperature of the matchup. Mitchell's game is explosive and downhill, fueled by relentless volume, deep shooting range, and unwavering confidence. He thrives in chaos, accelerating pace, and forcing defenses into uncomfortable rotations. Leonard counters with calculated precision, mid-range mastery, physical on-ball defense, and elite shot selection that rarely strays from efficiency. Mitchell creates turbulence, Leonard restores order and dictates tempo. Add Harden's patient playmaking against Garland's burst and speed, and the perimeter duel becomes layered, tactical, and mentally demanding. Each possession turns into a chess match of angles and timing. Inside, Mobley's fluid mobility and help-side instincts against Zubac's imposing strength and rebounding presence will shape second-chance opportunities, rim deterrence, and the overall physical tone of the series. Tactically, Cleveland holds the assist advantage and rebounding edge. Their 28.6 assists per game reflect constant motion, while the Clippers rely more on isolation creation from Leonard and Harden. If Cleveland forces turnovers and converts in transition, the tempo tilts their way. If Los Angeles limits giveaways and keeps the game in the half-court, their shooting efficiency becomes a weapon. Rebounding could be decisive. Cleveland averages nearly 4 more boards per game, but Zubac's 11 per night can neutralize that if he controls positioning. Bench scoring and defensive rotations will matter late, especially if Leonard and Mitchell trade shot-making down the stretch. The X factor, three-point rhythm. The Clippers shoot 39.1% from deep as a team. If Harden and Leonard combine for efficient perimeter volume, Cleveland's defensive length will be tested. Conversely, if Mitchell and Garland collapse the defense and spray out to shooters, the Cavaliers' assist machine takes over. Expect a competitive, high-level contest. Cleveland's balance, rebounding margin, and recent offensive rhythm give them a slight edge, even on the road. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Cleveland Cavaliers winner. Cleveland's playmaking depth and interior presence should generate just enough extra possessions to outlast Los Angeles' shot-making. In a game defined by efficiency versus flow, the Cavaliers' balance becomes the difference. My second pick for this match is total over 221.5.